What's the difference between striving and craving? What am I talking about? So, I think we've all seen, the movie where the trainer's yelling at the athlete, "You gotta want it. You gotta want it," right? And it's like that. Wanting it is like the key to success, and so we all know that narrative. Yet at the same time, there's been many sort of spiritual leaders or people who talk about life who would say that desire can be a source of suffering, right? And whether or not you believe in that, I think we can all agree that we've seen people in competition who seem to want it to an unhealthy extent, whether that's cheating or even just being really angry at any place other than first place. And so I would say there is something something to a sort of craving for the win, craving for that performance, which is different than striving for becoming your best. And I think it's an important distinction because it'll have a lot of difference in the outcome of your training, your racing, and your pursuit of this endeavor, and any athletic endeavor for that matter. So, what's the difference between striving and craving? I think, and this would just be my opinion, I think that striving has a sense of possibility, a sense of exploration, a sense of devotion, and what can I do? How great can I become, or how much can I push myself? There's a sense of lightness, of possibility. Craving, on the other hand, feels like there's a lot more sense of need and validation, and sort of there's an emptiness wanting to be filled, right? It's sort of really wanting it so bad, and in not having it, being in this sort of empty space. And you can see how those two are very different, in that if you're approaching your racing or your riding, your athleticism from a place of striving, like this guy here, it's going to be a lot different than if you're coming from that place of sort of craving and obsession. I think it's going to lead to striving is going to lead to a lot of long-term happiness and healthiness, as opposed to the craving, which is going to, you might get some short-term gains, but it's going to come from a place of constriction and need and